Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Vance. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to draft an overbust corset with an extended sleeve. So if you want to know how I was able to achieve the cutting part of this overbust corset, I want you to watch this video to the end. And if you've not subscribed yet to my channel, please do well to subscribe. So guys, this is the inspo of today's video. This was a dress made by Prudential Gabriel, and this is an overbust corset that has a zipper. You know, she's breastfeeding. This corset is actually good for a breastfeeding mom too. You can also use this pattern to draft this too. This was another dress made by Prudential Gabriel. Are you seeing it? It also has a structured sleeve, and the sleeves are... So if you're interested in this tutorial, let's get right into it. So this is my pattern paper. I'll go ahead right now to rule out my starting line. So this was me when I was ruling out the starting line. After I'm done ruling out the starting line, I'll go ahead and take the zip allowance. So for the zip allowance for this corset, I'll be using 1.5 inches rather. I'll go ahead and mark the 1.5 inches straight down, and I'll use my ruler to connect the point into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. The next thing I'll head off to do is to take my vertical measurement, which is my bust point. I'll go ahead and mark my bust point, 10 inches, my underbust 13.5 inches, my half length 17 inches, and the full length of our corset is 22 inches. I'll do the same thing by extending the point. I'll go ahead and mark my bust point, my underbust, my half length, and then the full length. I'll go ahead and use my ruler to connect this point into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. So after I'm done connecting the points into a straight line, I will go ahead right now and impute my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So I'll go ahead right now and mark my 7.5. I'll come down by 1.5 inches for my shoulder slope, and then I will get my armhole line, which is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. I will mark it there, and then I'll use my ruler to make that point into a straight line. Then I'm going to use my marker pen to indicate the line, which is the chest line, the bust point, the under bust, the waistline, the under bust here, the waistline, and then the full length, which is our corset length, so that you can understand the pattern more. So on the chest line, I'm going to repeat my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. I'll mark it there, and then I'll connect it to the 1.5 inches I came down by for the shoulder slope. Then I'll go ahead and divide my armhole line by 2 so that I can get my mid armhole. So when I divided it, wherever I had, I came in there by 0.75. I divided my bust by 4. I marked it, and then I went ahead to connect the point that I made to get my armhole curve, just the way you see me doing. So after I was done with these guys, I'll go ahead and take my neck width. My neck width is 3 inches and my neck depth is 3 inches, which is 3 by 3. And I'll go ahead and connect my shoulder slope, just the way you see me doing. I'll connect it to the 3 inches neck width, and then I'll connect that 3 inches neck width to my 3 inches neck depth, and I will extend that line to my zip allowance. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and take my nipple to nipple on my bust point line. My nipple to nipple is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'm going to mark that 3.5 straight to the full length of our blouse, and I'll use my ruler to connect this point into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. On the waistline, I'm going to come in by ½ inch on both sides. After I was done marking, I'll connect that ½ inch to my bust point. I'll do the same thing for the other end too, and then I'll connect from the waist line to the full length, just the way you see me doing. So the next thing I went ahead to do was to divide my waist. My waist is 30. I minus 2 inches because it's a corset, and I got 28. 28 divided by 4 is 7. I marked it there. And then my lower waist, whatever I had, I divided it by 4 and also marked it there. And I went ahead to use my ruler to connect from my bust to my waist, from my waist down to the full length. When I was done with these, guys, the next thing I will do is to do my under bust contouring. So for this end, I'm going to come in by 0.75. I'll mark it, and I'll go in by 0.5 on that end. So I'll calculate what I have here, and I'll replace it on the full length so that I'll have a straight line. I'll do the same thing for this part. Whatever I had there, I replaced it, and then I'll use my ruler to connect this into a straight line. I wanted to have a straight line. So to get my bust curve, so I went ahead to use my ruler from the bust point to connect down to the under bust on both sides, just the way you see me doing. So to get my over bust, I'm going to divide my shoulder slope by 2. As you're seeing right now, I'll divide it by 2 and I'll mark it. I'll use my ruler to connect it straight to the bust point, and then I'll check the distance between my bust point and my under bust, which is 3.5. Then I'll place the 3.5 on my bust point, and then I'll mark. But actually, I didn't use the 3.5. I used 3 inches. So I placed the 3 inches on my bust point and I marked. When I marked, I used my ruler to connect the markings that I made into a straight line. You can actually use 3.5 inches, but I decided to use 3 inches. So on the over bust line, I came in by 1/2 inch on this part, and then here I came in by 0.75, and then I went ahead to connect that point to my bust point, and I did the same thing for this other part. I connected it to my bust point. So guys, I will go ahead right now and check the distance between this point and that point. So it's 3 inches. It's not equal. It's usually not equal, but you have to make it equal by checking it. And when I checked it, I went ahead to reconnect. So at the full end, I'm going to extend my lower hip because I do not want it to be tight. So what I'm going to do right now is to go to my lower hip. I'm going to get that there. Whatever I have, I'll divide it into 2. I got 2, so I divided the 2 into 2. It gave me 1. I marked 1 there, and I went ahead to reconnect. This is because I don't want the corset to be too tight on my lower waist. I hope you get what I'm saying. So when I was done, I erased the initial one that I ruled before, and on also the full length, I came up by 1 inch because I did not want that place to be straight, and then I used my French curve to connect it, to give it a curve. And this is all for the front for now. So let's get to the back, and I will show you how to draft the back before we come back to the front. So this is my pattern paper for the back. As usual, I'll go ahead and rule out my starting line. After this, I'll go ahead and take my vertical measurement, which is my CL, that's my chest line. I'll go ahead and impute it there. I'll impute my half length and then the full length of corset. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to extend the line again. I'll mark my chest line, my waistline, and then the full length of the blouse, and I'll use my ruler and connect it into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. After I'm done with this, guys, I will go ahead and impute I'll just label it CL, waistline, and FL, so you understand better what I'm saying. So on the starting line, I'll go ahead and impute my shoulder measurement, which is 15 divided by 2, 7.5. I'll mark it there. From that 7.5, I'm going to come down also on the chest line and still impute my 7.5, and I'm going to come down from here and just impute the 1 inch shoulder slope, and I'll connect it straight to the chest line. So I've gotten my armhole line. So I'll get my neck width, which is 3, and my neck depth, I'll be using 1 inch for the back. So I'll go ahead right now and connect these 2 points, the neck width and the neck depth, together. So after this, I'll go ahead and divide my waist. That's 28 divided by 4, which gave me 7. I went ahead to mark it there, and I will impute my dart, 1 inch dart. I'll go to my full length, impute my lower hip measurement. I'll mark it there, and then I will go ahead and also impute my chest line divided by 4, my bust divided by 4. Whatever I had, I marked it on the chest line, and I connected all the 3 points that I made to give me my shape. So after I was done with this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to divide my armhole line. I divided it here just the way you see me doing, and then I'll go in by 1/2 of an inch, and then I'll connect this to the chest line to get my armhole curve. Then I'll go ahead and connect my shoulder slope. After this, guys, I will go to the chest line, and I'll come in by 2 inches, and on the full length I'll come in by 1/2 inch. This is the space in the eyelet seat, the space that you have to remove in the eyelet seat. So I went ahead to connect it, and then on the waistline I'm going to divide my waist into 3. So this was me dividing my waist. Whatever I had there, my waist is 7 there, so whatever I had there I had to divide it into 3. So I divided the first one, and this was the second one that I was dividing. So whatever I got, I marked it there, and then I used my ruler to connect this into a straight line to the full length of our blouse. So the 1 inch dart that I removed, I'm going to be sharing it into 4 places by 0.25. So I'll mark 0.25 there, I'll mark 0.25 here, and I'll also mark 0.25. That means 1/2 inch on both sides, making it 1. Then I'll go ahead now and connect my dart. So at this point, guys, do well to subscribe, like, comment, and share my video. So when I was done connecting the dart, as you can see, I'll go ahead right now and just mark out where my eyelet is going to sit. So this is where my eyelet is going to sit. We'll no longer be using this other part. The one that I'm marking right now, will no longer be using it. So guys, next thing I'm going to do is from my chest line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect it to this point that I'm connecting right now. So this is our back block. Then whatever I added 1 inch at the full length for the front. I'll also do the same thing for the back. Then I'll come up from the full length after I erase the initial one that I made. I'll come up by 1 inch, and then I'll connect it to my dart leg, just the way you see me doing. So this is basically it for the back. So let's get to the front so that we could conclude on the tutorial. So I see the back is actually very easy. So this is the front, guys. Now we want to have the extension for the cut together structure sleeve. So from my armhole line, that's from my chest line, I'm going to come up by 3.5 inch, and then I'm going to mark it there. Then when I'm done, guys, I'm going to, from the chest line, I'll come down by 1 inch. I'll mark that 1 inch from the chest line. I came down by 1 inch, and I'm going to use my French curve and give it a curve to my dart leg, just the way you see me doing. Are you seeing? And then I'm going to extend it to my zip allowance. Then from that 3.5 inches I came up by from my chest line, I'll connect it to my dart leg. Then to get the extended sleeve, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my tape to measure. Now before you do this, make sure that you've already taken your measurement on your client, so you can know how long you want the sleeve to be. As for me, even if I take my my measurements for my clients, I'm going to still add extra, because it's better that it's long than it's short. So from this point now, I came down by 2.5 inches. I marked it. Are you seeing? Then from this end, I will also measure the 2.5 inches. I'll also go ahead and mark it there, and then I'll rule a straight line to that point, that's to my armhole line. I realized that the structure for the sleeve is actually very short. I went ahead to extend it. Make sure you extend. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. Let it be long, no problem. You can always go ahead and cut it. It's better you're safe. So at the end of the day, I used 13 inches. Your own might not be 13 inches. Everybody's sleeve is different. Just make sure you know what you're doing. I hope you get. So I went ahead to erase the part that I will not be needing, so you will not get confused. So when I'm done with these guys, I'll just go ahead from the armhole and curve. Are you seeing? Curve it into the sleeve line. Yeah, then I'll use my marker pen to just make it more visible so that you're going to understand what I am trying to explain. So when I'm done with this, I'm just going to go ahead and label so I will not get confused, CF and SF. And this is it for the front. I will just go ahead right now and cut out. At this point, guys, if you found value in my tutorial, please do well to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment if you have any question that you want to ask me regarding this tutorial. So this is the front. So this is my back right now. I went ahead to also label the back so that I will not get confused. So this was me labeling with arrows, and I indicated CB, middle back, side back, and then I proceeded in my cutting. So this is it for the back. This is the front, guys. Are you seeing how beautiful it is? So I'll go ahead to craft because I want to see how my pattern is going to look before I cut it into my fabric. So that's the aim. That's the benefit of crafting your pattern. So after crafting the pattern, I realized that the upper part was short. Are you seeing that the upper part is short? So I cut a fresh pattern. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing how that upper part is not equal? So I just had to put a pattern under it, just the way you see me doing, and I use my masking tape to tape my pattern and the little pattern paper that I cut. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I had to do all of this just to make it equal. That is the benefit of crafting. So when I was done, guys, I just went ahead to use my pencil to reconnect my pattern, just the way you see me doing. Are you seeing? It's as easy as ABC. So I went ahead to now cut, and you can see that our pattern is perfect now. And you see now our overbust corset is very perfect. So this part now is where you're going to cut out. Are you seeing? You're going to cut out this part just like this, and this is it, guys. There's nothing difficult here. Sitting pretty, you're going to go ahead and cut your fabric, and everything is going to sit so well. I also go ahead and craft the back. So this was me when I was done crafting the back. Are you seeing? I'll go ahead now and cut out the front so that I'll cut it in my fabric. Very easy. So this was me cutting my pattern, like separating it after I was done with the crafting. I had to separate it just the way you see me doing. You have to be careful here so you won't cut your pattern paper. Yeah, so this was it, guys. Yeah, so basically, guys, we've come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you for watching my video to the end. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Mwah.